Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender Show. Would you believe this is a recorded show? Obviously it has to be a recorded show. The simple reason is, hey, I think I'm in Ibiza. I don't know. Anyway, if I'm not in Ibiza, there's obviously something gone wrong with all our testing and we've been chased back from the airport. But the information that I've received off Paul Cochran, who's my counterpart going to this on holiday, working holiday with Tony. Anyone who's met Tony, these are the lads I support and Paul supports, and we're away. We've waited a few years for this because of what has gone on, and it's not really going to be a holiday if you can understand where I'm coming from. It is tough. It's going to be tougher because there's a lot of talking that goes on in the day, through the night, throughout everything, and it's not as nice as what you'd think. And especially this year, for what we're going through, we don't know what to expect at the airports. We know Paul has been pulling his hair out because he has been a saviour in this. He's been filling the forms out, going online, going to the travel agents, getting things ready, and he's done me a massive favour because obviously, well, I've been trying to work with what I'm doing, the engraving, you name it, everything to do with Don't Cross the Line. You wouldn't think, I put that in the back burner, but Paul is absolutely brilliant, but this has really changed him a little bit. Lucky enough, his holiday was cancelled with the family, and as he said to me, if I hadn't cancelled that, or they hadn't cancelled that holiday, he wouldn't have known what to do with everything that's going on. The only reason this come about is because one of the mates of mine, when we went to TUI, everything was hunky-dory. We didn't need this, we didn't need that. This is what we got told. And then one of the mates went to Spain, and he sent me, I asked him what it was like, what the checks were like over in Spain, because we're going to Ibiza and it's probably on the same lines as that. And he come back with the message telling us what to do, where to go, and when I sent this off to Paul, he immediately went to TUI because we weren't told this. Because they said, don't worry about it, you've had your checks, your double jabs, that's it, that's all you need to worry about. And Paul took this with him, and thanks very much, Bill, for that message, because it really did help us out. And then he found one of the two members of staff who actually knew what they were talking about and went through it in detail, and there was a lot more to it than what we expected. We'd just turned up at that airport thinking we'd have everything. We've got our documentation regarding that, we've had the 2 jabs, and that's all we thought. And when we get there, 48 hours, you take a test, and then that was it. And that was what we got told. It wasn't as simple as that. Paul's been hours working these forms out, sending them in, and honestly, when I sat there and looked at them, how he's got through it, I really don't know. They are a nightmare. We're going to send some messages back to you, and we're going to get Paul to describe exactly what he had to do, what he went through in the rigmarole before we actually got away on holiday. If we got away on holiday. Remains to be seen, because if I'm doing a live show tomorrow, you know that we got chased back. But if it's a recorded show that I've already done, then we've got away with it. But we're going to try and bring details to yourselves to try and relax you a little bit if you're going away on holiday. If you're booking for next year, because it's obviously going to be the same, but I believe it's a lot of money now. All these tests they're making out, you have to pay this, you have to pay that. It's, yes, COVID is around, we know that, but it's a money-making scheme, and we know what is going on here now. The airports, everyone's sending, oh, look, we'll just get you some messages sent back and we'll let you know exactly what's going on with it. But hopefully, this working holiday turns into a good holiday. That's all I can say, but there's a lot of work coming back as well, what we need to do before we can come back, 2 days before, so it's not really a holiday, it's all concentrating on what we have to do with all the checks. Anyway, there's my little moan, but you will hear off Paul and myself over the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled on Facebook. Right, I did put a post out before we went away, if we got away. It sounds mad saying this, but anyway, and it was about grassroots football, and if you're playing in grassroots football, if you've got games, your league has started this weekend, brilliant, plenty of respect on and off the field of play, please. If there's young referees, new referees turning up there, please respect them. It's their first games, give them a chance, let them get involved in the game, let them understand the game, because it's going to be a bag of nerves. You have to be their master as well. Encourage them from the touchlines, please. And obviously the experienced referees who've been around there for a couple of years will obviously help them anyway through the rigmarole and the committee members. So please, first and foremost, make sure you look after them, because these will only be kids. These will be 14, 15, 16 years of age, just starting their referee courses now and their games the first time. That's if many referees have turned up, because if they haven't been doing their courses, because messages on social media where the way the referees' fees have gone up, the way everything's gone up basically. Everything has gone up with the county FAs. And obviously I feel sorry for the young referees. It's going to be around about £300 for their course, what I'm seeing. I haven't checked it out yet, but if that's the case, you know, these referees haven't refereed yet. They haven't earned the money, and we know they're going to earn the money. So maybe some sort of scheme could be worked out with the payment scheme for the kids, because they're not working. So it's down to the parents to pay their money again, isn't it? So you see where I'm coming from, county FAs, FA, please try and look after the young referees. We're moaning about referees not coming into the game, and this is going to scare them away a little bit more if it's too much money, especially for the parents who want their kids just to earn something, go out and do something different. We want to encourage them to get in the sport and activity, because maybe they don't want to play football, maybe they just want to referee. So let's look after them, let's give them a chance as well, because if the referees don't come into the game, wow, what's it going to be like? It's going to be managers just refereeing all the games. Football is finished. Probably has, the way we know it anyway, because when I was putting the post out, the post that I did put out was how much is going to cost your team to take part in a season of football. Give us an average price, you know, and a couple come back to me, they did. FC Kirby Town and also Belfry. Sorry, should I say, it wasn't Belfry, no. Longmore, Steve from Longmore. Now, the average price, the old lady, he gave to me was £2,800, and he said it's an average price. This is all sponsorship, everything like that, per season. That's a lot of money as well, because they only have one team under 13s. And he's given me an average price of £12 per player. Well, I worked that out, and I think we're crosswise somewhere. Tell me if my maths are wrong, please, Steve. But 18 players, £216 a month. Over 8 months football, I'm averaging from around September over to May, if you do play that, equals £1,728. It doesn't coincide with 2,800, but I think what you're taking into account there is probably sponsorship and funding that you've got. So it's averaging £3 a week per player. If that's the case, and you can do that, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's no problem with grassroots football there whatsoever. And you'll probably have a little nest egg, because the kids will pay a little bit extra throughout the months, spot the balls, things like that, bringing in income. No doubt you'll have a little nest egg where you can take them away as well and help them and spend with trophies and what have you. It doesn't bring that into account, I know that. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money anyway, 2,800 for one team. And then I was shocked when FC Kirby Town came to me, and Johnny said he just has an average price and just gave me a little bit of feedback of 2,400 per team. Now they've got 14 teams, and I think my maths there says something like 33,000 in a season. Whoa, wow, wow, football, whoa, this is kids football. Wow, how much on average is it costing to run a football team? Shocked, flabbergasted. It's a bit different. But then again, it's a bit different. No, it wasn't. It was costing a fortune. Yes, it's the way things work, I suppose, and inflation, the way it goes, it was always the same then, in those prices. We'll probably all be into it. But they've got subs, they've got income, they've got sponsors. So I'd love to know a real breakdown. But it's probably given these managers a little bit of a headache now, and thinking, do you know what? Just how much does it cost our team to go in? But I know Steve said to me as well, regarding registration fees in the league, they're free, and I don't think they're paying them again. I'm not too sure. I'd have to check up on what they're doing there. If it's free, fantastic to all the leagues who are doing that. That is brilliant. But if it's not, that's on top as well. So they're just two clubs probably that were giving us an idea, giving me an idea what to work on, what to look at, and just to see what teams are going to be keeping themselves going, keeping themselves afloat. If that's the average prices, a lot of teams are going to struggle. I can see that if you've got no sponsors and you've got no way of bringing income in, and the parents aren't affordable, you know what, they can't afford it, they're struggling a little bit, they just want to play or get the kids into football teams, then we're looking in the future what we can do to try and help out, because we want to try and build up our Hearts of Gold initiatives. You all know about that now, and this is what we're trying to do. We're not going to say, oh, we're going to pay for teams and all that, because there may not be enough funding in there, but this is why we're trying to put the GoFundMe page on and try and bring something, give something back to kids, disadvantaged children, teams who can't afford it. You see where I'm coming from, the average price to run a team. Now, if these parents are asked to pay certain amounts of money, there's other clubs, there's bigger clubs. What's their bills? Maybe a lot of clubs don't want to tell us what they're paying out. They'll keep themselves to themselves. Fair enough, that's entirely up to yourselves. Some clubs don't mind sharing because it's in the public domain. They're telling us exactly what it is, how much they bring in income, how much expenditure. Lots of teams will not want to declare it, but why not? Because it only needs a parent in that club to ask how much you're making, and obviously public domain has to tell you what it is. You know, that's what we all do. We all have to show that. We're governed by Companies House. We have a chartered accountant as well, so everything there, the figures are always there, and it's probably ours is next to nothing. DMA, we couldn't run a team by going by that. We don't cross the line, so we'd have to look into that one, unless we get the good funding in. But this has just given me an idea exactly what the breakdowns are, giving you an idea of what you're paying out. If you're a new team coming into it, what you have to try and see, what you have to do to put a team together. It's a lot of money, and no wonder all you teams out there need sponsorship. It really does. You know, it does matter to all you businesses if you can help out. You've just seen 2 average clubs there, the average prices of what it's costing. It's a lot of money to try and keep kids into football. And thanks very much to the parents as well, who are going out and probably helping out and putting their subs in, and the monthly subs. It gives you an idea exactly yourselves what these managers are going through. They're all voluntary. You have to give them their due. Hats off. They're brilliant. They're working together. They're bringing the teams together. They're letting the teams play together. What more could we ask for? I'll have a little dig at that one, just to see who's bringing me there. But no doubt I'll get back to that person very soon indeed. It always happens when I'm on air anyway, just having a sip of tea. But this gives you an average price, lets me know exactly where we're coming from, what we're doing, and just how much it's costing you. But if there's any more teams out there who are working out now on their expenditure, the income, and want to let us know, mal@don'texttheline.com. It's not about being nosy. This is all about being together in grassroots football and trying to see where we can help out and cost, and try and bring people together and make people aware of it and bring in sponsorship. We're there to try and help teams. We're not there to be nosy. It's not about being nosy whatsoever. You'll have to ignore this phone that's going off at the moment. I'll get that as soon as I possibly can. If during this is what it's like. This is a busy office for me. You get this 10 times a day.
Hello.
This is fantastic, fantastic. Oh, got an answer machine as well. Dear me, what more could we ask for? It's all gone. It's all hell for leather, isn't it? That's what it is. People are trying to get in the building. People are ringing me. This is what it is about. Don't cross the line. It's fantastic. But at least I'm bringing you a working day as to what I'm doing as well. It's all about grassroots football. So we'd love to know the costs. As I say, you don't have to give the cost. You don't have to give the income. You don't have to give the expenditure. But believe me, this is grassroots football, and it's going to cost a fortune by the sounds of things, unless you've got your sponsors, unless you've got your income coming in, unless you've got good parents. I went through it. It was a struggle for me many years ago, and now I just wanted to see what it was like updated, because my son now is running a football team, and when I put this to him as well, he'll probably pull his hair out. But there's a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do. And that is go out and get sponsorship if you can. That is go out and explain to the parents what it is. Have your breakdowns, your cost, what your league fees are, what your registration are to your county FAs, what your kits are, what your balls, your equipment, everything that you need to get a team together. And then once you've got all that down, all your expenditure, then you start working on your income, how you can bring it in, spot the balls, go out, go to shops, your Sainsbury's, your Asda's, go into them and see if you can do backpacking. I know they go on a list, and I don't know whether many stores are doing that now. Fundraising ideas, car washes, all that, everything that you can try and do. Even the kids' sponsored walks. I know teams do sponsored walks as well. But there's so many out there who are trying to bring funding in to help the teams, to register teams, to get teams going. Well, the season is right on top of us, and as I say, some may have started today. If you have, the very, very best of luck. Please look after your referees, look after your players, and go the way you want to go. It's not all about winning, you know. It's about developing these kids. Yes, developing the kids when they're playing football, and also developing the referees. Some referees may want to go up above or down a level, because they start at 7 and works the way down. Other levels go up, your coaching badges, level 1, 2, 3, it goes up like that. So they're all different levels. The courses, if you need to go on a course, if you want to be a referee, go to your local county FA, ask them all about it. They'll give you the fees, expenditure, exactly what it costs. They might even give you a free referee kit. Doubt it very, very much. I'm just saying, help the young referees get into the game, because we're going to be short of referees when it comes to football. Now, we know that. Now, I think when I come back, I think the Walton Caredale Junior Football League starts. If that's the case, then the North Liverpool Junior League may start next week. Maybe not today, maybe next week, which is on the Saturday. So the Saturday and the Sunday. But we've got some volunteers who'll go out to other leagues, your Bootle, your Edgehill leagues, and ones that we haven't been to, and call on yourselves, because you'll be putting the flags up, going, wait, don't cross the line, I've come out to meet us. Yes, we have, because we're looking for the Respect programme for next season, and hopefully there will be no cutout in this, and we can get something done for all you teams out there. And we will be watching from the touchlines. We will be marking you parents, you managers, coaches, all about how you behave on a touchline, looking after referees, looking after the kids, and the banter that you have on and off the field of play. And I hope there's plenty of it. Excuse me, and I apologise for all the phones going before, because they haven't stopped. It just shows you how busy that we're going to be. I've got 3 minutes left of the show, so we'll make the most of it, because we'll be back with a recorded show tomorrow. But it may not be recorded, I might be live, I don't know, because I'll be fuming today, wouldn't I, if we got stopped at the airport and we got turned back. But anyway, this is what it's all about. It's all about grassroots football now. So we'll be doing our Respect programme again. So remember, pass the message on all to your parents. Respect on and off the field of play. Look after your referees, applaud your referees as well. Don't give them any stick, let them do their game. A lot of them are just learning, developing their skills, so you've got to encourage them as well. Your adults, these are kids, most of them, help them out as well. And don't start shouting and screaming so they walk away from the game and we're short of a referee again. Work well with your committees, and just enjoy your games of football. Get your teams together and just admire the skills that your kids have got on and off the field of play. And to develop the kids as well. Tell the kids not to go at the referees. Don't question the referee. Let the referee make their own decision. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, the referees will make a mistake throughout the season. We all know that. We all do that. You coaches make that. You kids make that. Everyone makes that. Mums and dads in work, we all make those mistakes. And you've got to be forgiving and forgetful over it as well. Put it to one side and just go out there and enjoy the game of football, because I'll guarantee you one thing, every single game in grassroots football has some excellent football skills from the kids. So admire that, watch that, and start encouraging the kids and clap them for every move they make. Both sides, that means. Don't start criticising any teams. And what we don't want to hear on any touchline is get stuck into them. That is worse, that is terrible, snapping, this is what we don't. If we hear that, obviously that be reported to your local committees and your county FAs. Please, managers, talk to your parents before the league starts. Tell them all about respect, tell them all about how they've got to behave on and off the field of play. Let you do the coaching, leave it to yourselves, and just ask them to encourage the teams and stop questioning the referee about their decisions. Well, there you go, we're coming right to the end of our programme. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope there's loads of information. If you've got any more information to give us, mal@don'ttexttheline.com, add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. And hopefully we'll be back with a recorded show tomorrow. If not, it just could be a live show. So in the meantime, thank you very, very much indeed for tuning in. Put your feet up, relax and enjoy the weekends. No Premier League games. I'm thankful because we're on holiday. Hopefully we'll get to enjoy it, but I'll let you know all about that on our return, and maybe with a few Facebook lives during the week. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 PM. So for myself, Mal Lane and all the team here at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line and Hearts of Gold, respect programme as well, respect programme. We'll see you tomorrow at 7. Have a great evening. Good night, God bless.